Hi everyone, Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm, and today we're going to do the basics of seed starting, and I'm going to show you the standard way and then the way I do it. Okay, most people are going out and they're buying these really expensive trays. This is a mess, I just took it out of the attic. And basically you put them in here, you fill them with seed starting mixture, and then you cover them with these wonderful lids that break all the time. Or you could save these trays or dumpster dive, as I do from the garden places, and go eat a whole bunch of croissants. I love croissants. And put them in here. Why do we put them in containers like this? Seed starting means they're infants. They need some moisture. They can't dry out. They can't be wet. I mean, they're so particular. It's like they're pregnant. So when we cover them up, it's perfect. The minute you see some growth, you pull them out. Disadvantages. One, when they're in these little trays, you have to, the minute they get this big, you have to transplant them because then they need nutrition. Overcrowding, this takes a lot of space. So let me pull out what I do. Over the years and lack of space, and I grow hundreds of different types of plants, I have come to a very basic thing. Everybody is always saying you can only have one plant in one cell and they're thinning all the time, and I'm thinking you're just throwing away seeds. I put a whole bunch in a container like this, and you know I go to Panera's for the $8.95 coffee a month, and I cover them like this. Takes very little space. This is pepper plants. I have like 10 in here. When they get this tall, I'm going to transplant. Less space. If you have one grow light, that's great. If you have a sunny window, perfect. So here's some tomatillos for my daughter, and these are just regular verde, yeah. So these worked out great. I will transplant these. See the space difference? So let's plant some. Okay. What I do with this, because the baby seed doesn't need any nutrition. Actually, you don't want to use soil unless you have to. There's some exceptions that we're going to get to. But you want to use like peat moss, or I would get the seed starting. There's nothing in it. It's sterile, no bacteria, bad bacteria in there. So, but since I keep them until they get very tall, I fill it halfway with just potting mix, which has nutrition. And then I have my peat moss. Now I'm going to add some really hot water. Why am I adding hot water? One, it will basically get the seed to germinate faster. Make sure, okay. And you want to lightly touch it. I put it on my cheek, but we're not going to do this. And it really doesn't leave mud on me. I mean, it's got a little dirt. Some people wring it, and if there's no water, perfect. But it has to be slightly damp. Then I take my pots, and I kind of just pack them in. All right, before we plant these seeds, let's talk about how deep I should plant them. Now, always read the seed packet. I'm going to show you some okra seeds, and I'm going to show you a pumpkin. The rule of thumb is double the length. So this is a 1/2 inch, flip it over. You're going to plant these an inch deep. This is going to be, what is that, 1/8? So you're going to make, okay, quarter. Okay, that's the rule. If they're itty bitty seeds like basil or dill, you just sprinkle them on top and pack them. Okay, that's my rule of thumb. Do you need to soak these? No, you don't have to. The reason we soak them a lot of times is the bigger seeds is to speed up the whole transaction of planting, but also to see if the seeds are viable. A lot of times if they just float, they're no good by morning, okay? I still plant them because every once in a while I gotta give the underdog a chance, okay? Now, since I'm gonna sow a lot of seeds in here, does it have to be one thing? No. So here I have Swiss chard mix and then the ruby. I just put a stick here like this, and I take a Swiss chard, and these are the funkiest seeds. And I sow seeds constantly, okay. And all I'm gonna do, see, they're an eighth, and I'm just gonna press them in like this. And this is the day when it's rainy and you make your tea or coffee and your sweats on and just sow seeds. Okay, so there's that one. Kind of push them in. Now I'm gonna cover them. Well, let me do the other ones real quick. Cup, it's got a few holes. A chewed up container from our foster dog, which is still available. And we're done. I'm going to put it in a sunny window. Now, do I always put it in a sunny window? No. I have some, like the African daisy, that likes darkness. You could actually put it in a closet and just watch it. So always do that. Let me show you another method. Another favorite method for me, and this is perfect for anybody that doesn't have space or just doesn't want to have the guessing game on how to do seed starting. It's the milk container. I've done it a lot. I'll put the link to my other videos with this. So this one is, and it looks like I'm putting a whole bunch of seeds in here, and I am. But you can mix them. I have cosmos and zinnias in here. I got some other flowers in here. I open this up just so you could see. Normally I don't want to open them until they get this big, but I want you to see. Now, this is great because you could plant these anytime, and we're going to duct tape it and put it outside in a semi shaded but sunny area where rain could get in here, and it's like it's been sowed outside. Well, it is kind of. So we're going to put Korean hyssop and tarragon. You could only plant things that have similar growth habits, and I'll show you why. And I really want to show you this. Now, as far as soil, you want garden soil, no starting seed. See how tiny these are? These need light to germinate, so you're not going to cover them up. Anything that needs light, you just basically put it in there. Now, I'm going to put tarragon and hyssop together. I just did the tarragon, so now I'm going to do the Korean hyssop. Same type of seeds. It's just going to mix in there. Does it hurt to grow them together? No. It's perfect. So I'm going to cover this up, duct tape it, and put it outside. Even if it's cold outside, it'll germinate when it's ready. Okay, another method, and I'll do the link. I've done a lot of these with just the little peat pellets. And what do I have? I have some bunch of melons in here. And what else did I did some other ones. Poppies. I did some poppies. My daughter's looking at me. Okay, this is another method, which is easy. But let me show you one more method. One of my biggest issues with other gardeners is that they just throw away so many of the plants they germinate because it's overcrowded, okay? The big nurseries let them overcrowd. So these are some flowers that marigolds actually, there's tons in here. Is it a problem? Do I need to thin them out? No. I'm gonna wait till they're about this tall. This is all filled with nutritious soil. And those that watched my basil separation, that's all I do. The basil looks great. I should bring that out. Okay, here is some purple basil. And I keep my own seeds on this. And this is Japanese basil. Okay, this shouldn't be in here. Do I need to destroy them? No. Basically, all I do is pull it up gently and then I transplant it somewhere else. Okay, see how these pulled out gently and they look wonderful. And by the way, shiso, which is Japanese basil, this is really an interesting herb, and you could check out my video on boss rolls. It's a wonderful dish for those. But the reason I'm showing you these also is if you have pests hate the smell of this. Deer hate it. I mean, I get scatter this everywhere, and this is the one thing they won't eat. So you might want to try to get some of this. Now, I did pull out 2 of the basils by accident. What I'm going to do is put in another container, and that's it. So sometimes it's better to just throw it all in one thing and just divide later on. Don't thin them out. Don't throw them away. They're all viable. But this is a quick how to sow your seeds. My method, I think, for me is the easiest, but I do a variety of them. But this Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm, please thumbs up, share my video. It's really important. And recycle your containers. I have a whole video on that. It really bothers me when these end up in the landfill. That's why I just keep reusing them. Have a great day.